Hi everybody, I'm Levi Sauerbrei, Nerd Butler. We're here in the Nerd Cave today to talk about one of our favorite tools for doing more with technology, and that is IFT.com. It used to be called If This Then That, but we're going to talk about IFT and how you can use it to connect all of the different services in your life that you're using and get more out of your technology. All right, so before we look at the website itself, I want to talk a little bit about what IFT is. So IFT is a service that takes all of the other tools, platforms, devices you use and allows you to connect them to each other in different ways. We're going to look at some examples on their website in just a second, but I want you to think of this as a tool that can take any routine task you do, anything where you have to jot yourself a note every time something happens or most of the time when something happens, and this is a tool that's going to take that off of your plate and do it for you and then send you a notice later on when it's actually working. So let's go take a look at the website and see how that works, and we'll talk through a couple of examples. And in the future, we're going to do more of our favorite ways of automating things in separate videos so you can have even more specific examples. So looking at the IFTTT website, IFT, the logo upper left, the sign in and sign up in the upper right, you see in the graphic just some of the services that they have available for you. Your Amazon Alexa, Philips Hue bulbs, calendars, Slack channels, cloud storage, different devices. There are literally hundreds of services that you can attach. You can sign up for a free account with your email address, with your Google account, or with your Facebook account. Down below that, there's a couple of animations that show you some things you can do. IFT will help you get your Echo talking to your services, blink the lights in your house when your Uber arrives, or put an Evernote into a Slack channel. For those business users, that might make some sense. Like I said, you can try this out for free, and they have all kinds of great examples to just give you some ideas of things that you might want to try. Have the lights come on automatically when your pizza delivery man shows up. So we're going to go ahead and log in up here in the upper right corner, and I'm going to sign in with my Google account, and we'll take a look at how the service works from the inside. So I've already got a few things running, but when I first come to my account, it gives me collections up at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and flip through these really fast just so you can see what some of the options are. If you're a photographer, they have a bunch of different services and connections you can make. If you have an iPhone, they have some that are specific for that, just to give you an idea and a demonstration of what kinds of things you can do with it. And here we can see all the different collections we can go through. Let's pick one specific for voice assistants just to see some of the examples that they have. So turn off a Wemo switch with your Google Home, use your Amazon Echo to call your phone if you've lost it somewhere in the house, create an event on your iPhone's calendar with Google Home. So these are just some of the examples using different services that that IFT allows you to connect. Alexa is one of those services, so is Google Home, and so are hundreds of different business and personal services that you can connect. So up at the top, if we go under search, this is a good place to start once you've looked at the collections a little bit, because what this gives you is a listing by category of all of the different services that are offered, and it ranges in everything from appliances. So if you have a GE dishwasher that's got an internet connectivity to it, IFT will allow you to get a notice on your phone, for instance, of when your dishwasher is done, or even better, maybe it blinks the lights in your house, or it sets off an alarm at your bedside table or on your desk when the dishwasher is done. GE ranges in cooking appliances, same thing. Egg Minder, which is the timer service from Wink. GE refrigerators. Washers and dryers. Wouldn't it be great to know when the dryer is finished if you don't want to hear that buzzer coming from the laundry room every time? And on down the list. These are all just in the appliances section. So iRobot, Whirlpool washers and refrigerators and dryers. There's just a ton of services. We're going to look at a couple more categories just to give you a really solid idea of what you're able to look at. And you can see there are literally just dozens of categories, and within each one there are multiple services and things you can connect. So let's look lastly at mobile devices and accessories, because that's something most of us have laying around the house or in our pocket. All of the iOS services, reminders, calendar, reading list. If you have an LG smartphone, there's a connection specific to that. If you have an Android phone, there's tons of things you can do with your Android phone as well, or your Android watch. And down below, again, we have examples of some of the applets that have already been created that you could take advantage of. So turning your lights on and off with just one tap on your phone, get a notification on your Android watch when your phone's battery is too low, create a Google Calendar event whenever you add a new reminder on your iPhone. That's something that might be pretty useful for many of you. So these are all examples, and what I'm going to show you next is just how to set up a really basic applet, just so you can see the process. And as I said, we're going to do more videos in the future showing you specific things you can do with these tools that will make your life a little easier. But for now, let's just figure out how we're going to go about making a new applet. There's no programming here. It's all point and click. It's all big friendly buttons that are pretty understandable. So we have a couple of examples of things that I have turned on currently. This one on the left is my current favorite. So every time someone on Facebook tags me in a photo, I would like to save that photo because it's likely a picture I don't have that I would like to keep with all of my other pictures in Google Photos. So every time I am tagged on Facebook in a photo by a friend, IFTTT will see that, transfer that picture to my Google Photo account, and now I've got it where I can put it in an album with other pictures from that weekend or that event or other pictures I have with that person. So these are all very handy. But to create a new applet, we just come up to the top here and we click the button, and this is where the name of the service came from. If this, then that. And all we have to do is click on the first word where the plus sign is. So if this happens, and we're going to create a trigger. Now I'm going to do something very simple here. I'm just going to create a trigger based on a date or a time. So I'm going to say the very first one, every day at 3 p.m. and then I will create the trigger. So what is going to start my action? Every day at 3 p.m., we can see the clock here now. If every day at 3 p.m., then what would we like to happen? Well, I would like to get an email every day at 3 p.m. And we have one choice here, send me an email. We click on that, and we get to fill out what the email is going to say. So the subject line is going to be another day, and it's check time. Now, check time is what IFTTT calls an ingredient. And an ingredient is a piece of information that's being passed from the trigger, from the this, to the that. And our ingredients are down here below. So it's check time, exclamation point. That's going to say it's 3 p.m. for my example. And that is the only ingredient I have now. Other services that we'll demonstrate in future videos are going to have more complex and more detailed ingredients. But I'm just going to go ahead and create this action. And that's it. We're done. So if every day at 3 p.m., then send me an email at this email address. And it works with my email service. If I wanted to get a notification every time this happens, I could, but I don't want to do that because I'm going to get the email, so I don't need the notification. We'll go ahead and finish that, and I am actually done now. So every day at 3 o'clock, my email address is going to get an email that says it's 3 o'clock. So there you go. I hope you found this interesting. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. We're going to have more videos coming soon. Our blog is up at nerdbutler.com, and if you ever want to get in touch with us, feel free to contact us on any of those social media platforms, or you can send an email to contact@nerdbutler.com, and we would love to answer your questions and maybe make a video or a blog post helping you do more with your technology.